wisdom to bell to bell. I'm your host, Mr. Nix. I'm here with another amazing week of action here at Monday Night Fight Night. This week we took a little break from the competition, but next week we return to the Fight Night Heritage Championship Tournament for round 2. And not only do we stop in Las Vegas, we take the one and only chance to do the Fight Night Roulette. So let's go ahead and jump in the action this week in Monday Night Fight Night. Our first matchup of the night, we have the Friendship Duo taking on Victoria Principal and the Black Queen. Miss Glow and Victoria start out the match. Miss Glow strikes with kicks, while Victoria comes back with a forearm and then hits a suplex. She stands up and taunts the Black Queen, yelling, "This is how you do it," before she hits a huge suplex on Miss Glow. Victoria then gets back up and starts to taunt the Black Queen by stealing her trademark pose. But she turns her attention back to Miss Glow, who hits a huge rear view right in the face of Victoria to take her down. Miss Glow tags in the hug of one, who then explodes in the ring with a rally of clotheslines. She then sets up for the huge spinebuster, and then she tries to follow up with the last kick, but Victoria rolls out of the ring. The Black Queen goes to check on her partner, but Victoria Principal pushes her away. Black Queen, trying to make sure she's alright, goes back to check on her, but Victoria pushes her back and slaps her right in the face. The big Black Queen goes down, but mostly out of shock. Victoria starts to laugh and then rolls back in the ring. But she goes for the attack with a forearm. The hugger dodges it, then hits the Bailey to belly and tags in Miss Glow, who goes to the top rope and hits the glowing elbow to get the 1-2-3 and the victory. The Black Queen walks out of the arena, shaking her head, as Victoria lays in the middle of the ring holding her chest. Our next matchup is Kylo Nightmare taking on Michael M.S. Payne. The two men brawl back and forth until finally M.S. Payne gets the upper hand. He hits a power slam and follows up with a leg drop, but Nightmare retaliates with a big boot and he goes for a powerbomb, but Payne wiggles free and manages to rack him up in a straitjacket hold, then releases him and pulls him back to a huge knee straight to the jaw. Kylo Nightmare goes down. Michael M.S. Payne makes the pin to get the win. Our next matchup is the Buffalo Bills taking on Adonis Crusher and the Jackal taking on Corey Tombstone and Illuminati. This was an amazing triple threat tag team match. Some of the highlights were when the Jackal hit a huge springboard leg drop from the outside to the middle of the ring onto Illuminati and Cal Story. Another moment was when Corey Tombstone hits the end of days on Cal Story, but Cal Story kicks out and then pulls Tombstone into the Sweet Dream submission hold until Adonis Crusher breaks it. Another moment is when Adonis Crusher hits the Ace Crusher on Corey Tombstone, but as he stands up, Illuminati comes out of nowhere and hits a huge swinging Hurricane Rana, sending him out of the ring. Another moment is when Master Killer hits the Killer Instinct in the corner, and then swings Illuminati out of the corner into the waiting arms of a super kick from the Jackal. The finish of the match comes when all 6 men are in the ring brawling. Suddenly, Master Killer, Kyle Story, and the Jackal come face to face. Suddenly, they hold up the Hound symbol and Too Sweet in the middle of the ring, and they join forces. The Jackal picks up Corey Tombstone and then hits him with a super kick, sending him into the waiting arms of the Buffalo Bills, who slam him to the mat with the pig to get the victory in this amazing matchup. Our next matchup is the debuting Tony the Hammer Morrison taking on Madman Joe. These two men brawl back and forth in the middle of the ring, trading hard rights and forearms. Finally, Madman Joe wins out and hits a huge suplex, but the Hammer bounces right back up and it hits a clothesline, sending Madman Joe over the top rope to the outside. The two men continue their brawl on the outside until Madman Joe spears the Hammer through the barricade, resulting in both men being counted out. The two men ignore the referee and continue to brawl all the way through the crowd to concessions, where Madman Joe takes a sip of a soda sitting there, realizes it's diet, spits it out, and slams it into the head of the Hammer. But the Hammer comes back with a tray of nachos with jalapenos all over them, right to the face of Madman Joe, almost blinding him. The Hammer then takes Joe all the way to the top of a flight of stairs and tosses him off. The Madman lands on the floor a flight down and rolls to the entrance of the parking lot. The Hammer goes down, but cannot find Joe anywhere. He turns around. Madman Joe hits a mad charge power slam. Out of nowhere, he scoops him up and hits it, leaving the Hammer screaming in pain, his back hitting on the concrete. Madman Joe decides he's got to get out of there. He sees a tour bus to the left of him and decides, I'm taking it. He gets in and hijacks the tour bus. As he begins to pull away, the Hammer tries to get through the window, but Madman Joe pushes him out. The Hammer looks around and sees another tour bus sitting right there and decides he's going to give chase. Now we have both Madman Joe and the Hammer stealing tour buses, driving down the highway, scratching and scraping into each other. The Madman trying to run the Hammer off the road. I cannot believe this, ladies and gentlemen. This is insanity. We finally lose track of these two as they head down Highway 90, heading towards Las Vegas, what we were supposed to be at next week. I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait till we find out what's going to happen to these two. And now we have the Rising Star Championship match. We have MDM taking on the Enforcer, taking on the Devil's Bride, taking on the Beast, Justin Sane. This match was nothing more than pure epicness. From the Beast's fallaway slam from the top rope on MDM to the Devil's Bride hitting a suicide dive on the outside of the ring onto all three competitors. Then we have MDM hitting a Mayhem DDT on the Devil's Bride, but when he pops back up, he's immediately caught by the Enforcer with a super kick to the jaw for a 2 count. The finish of the match comes when we have Justin Sane goring the Enforcer through a barricade. Meanwhile, in the ring, MDM sets up the FU, but the Devil's Bride manages to wiggle free and get her into a corner where she sets up and hits the Lucifer's Kiss to get the 1-2-3 and to become the inaugural Rising Star Champion. And now for our main event, we have the Heritage Championship Tournament Second Chance Battle Royal. Our first eliminations come when the Devil's Bride and the Black Queen dump Miss Destruction and the Demon over the top rope. Our next eliminations come when DJZ clotheslines the Maverick over the top rope, sending him over the top. But he turns around and immediately he gets dumped over the top rope by Madman Joe. Our next elimination comes when the Death Machine knocks the Iron Maiden off the apron, eliminating him, but turns around to get hit with a big boot from Madman Joe, knocking him over the top rope, eliminating him. Next elimination is Texas Tornado when she is suplexed over the top rope by Madman Joe. He turns around only to be ambushed by the Black Queen and the Devil's Bride. They beat him down and then pick him up and toss him over the top rope, eliminating him. The finish comes when the Devil's Bride and the Black Queen trade strikes, but the Devil's Bride gets a nice heel kick off, making the Black Queen stumble back, and the Devil's Bride hits the Devil's Doom. But the Black Queen manages to block the spear with two knees. She knocks the Devil's Bride down and hits the March of the Black Queen. She taunts the crowd, picks up the Devil's Bride, and tosses her over the top rope, winning the Second Chance Battle Royal, allowing her to claim a spot in the Heritage Championship Tournament. I want to thank you all for joining me here at Bell to Bell, and once again, next week we go to Las Vegas. We have two amazing events. We have the second round of the Heritage Championship Tournament, and we have the very first Fight Night Roulette Wheel. Now, members of the tournament will take place. That will be 6 matches. And the roulette wheel will also be an additional 6 matches. That means the wheel has an amazing 20 variations of matches. We have 17 different superstars. The possibilities are endless, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to say thank you again, and as always, turn in to Monday Night Fight Night this week to check out Fight Night Roulette Wheel and Round 2 of the Heritage Championship Tournament.